What's up, dirty cones? Good morning. That is a horrible Jocko impersonation. I wonder if... Well, I think everybody's probably got a Jocko voice that they do. Because the man is that awesome. Was it... Anyway, Jocko's awesome. Not making fun. Just saying what's up. So, here's my library list of things. So I am reading 36 Revolutionary Figures of History. It's a bunch of speeches, but not speeches, actually college level, university level courses on amazing people in history. Confucius, Herodotus, who I'm just listening to right now. Machiavelli, which if you ever had much to do with Machiavelli, usually they only give you the prince, and that's the by any means necessary guy. His quote: if you only think the prince, you'll be so like. Because I always Machiavelli. I was like, all right, yeah, cut through, do whatever you gotta do to achieve your goal. Okay, got it. He was so much more. So give him a check out. I enjoyed that. That's a good book. The next book is Boyd by Robert Coram. So Colonel Boyd is the originator of the OODA loop and modern fighter tactics and the modern lightweight fighter and everything. Amazing Air Force member during World War II, Korea, and got out around Vietnam, or after Vietnam. Wow. You know, once again, continuing my belief that the Air Force was made for and by, well, rogues. Need more rogues in your life. And, oddballs. You know, the Air Force has got a lot of room for a lot of people, and if you use her correctly, she will use you correctly. Next book, Blood Brothers by Randy Roberts, and that is about Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali and their relationship, their friendship, their lives together, what was all going on. Really good book. I'm really enjoying that one. Knife Fights by Colonel retired John Nagl. Anything from Nagl, the dude rocks. It's his memoirs of living life, writing books, being a super duper genius counterintelligence guy. Love him to death. So check out that. Blink by Malcolm Gladwell. I'm redoing this book in the audio form, just because. Well, because alright, so Blink is about the 0.02 seconds that you meet somebody, see something, and you establish a thought. And it's not even a thought that your conscious has anything. It's unconsciously you recognize there's something wrong with that parachute. Unconsciously you recognize this feels like a bad place. Looks like a great place for an ambush. You recognize, I don't know why I don't like this person. There's just something about this person, right? First impressions, your first impression on everything is probably the correct assumption. And so anything from Malcolm Gladwell, he is probably overall my favorite writer, just for his thinking and thought process. I'm not saying it's always that I agree with him, but I would go with like 90% of the time I agree with him. And I just love him as a human being. I believe that what he brings to the table is so much more than so many other people. And so I'm very grateful that he writes. Alright, this is a really good one. Thermopylae by Paul Cartledge. And it's not a novel. It is a historical, trying to be more accurate breakdown of what was Thermopylae, why did it happen, what was going on. Gives you, whereas Herodotus is saying that the Greeks, he wrote these reasons. This guy's saying that Herodotus may have been, taking a little Shakespeare, they might have said this, or they might have thought this, or, he didn't know. But he's saying that the only thing that really united them was that they had a shared religion and spoke the same language. Like, they were that much different from each other, and that they barely got along together enough to go, okay, we need to fight the Persians. So that was pretty cool. And he also contends, and I really, this is if you ever see 13 Assassins, and excellent movie from a couple years ago about 13 samurai who fight to their death. And so it's kind of, I think it's been 100 years or so since any real samurais have gotten to fight. So they're all samurais, and they know, this is like a peacetime PJ, right? They know how to do the job, but they ain't really getting to do it. And so he's fishing, and so this, vassal finds him and says, oh, are you, he's like, yeah. And, he's just sitting here fishing, having a good time. So, all right, I'll come with you. And he goes with him, and when they tell him what they want him to do, which is basically, this Force 10 from Navarone, guns in Navarone, Thermopylae kind of, you're not probably going to survive kind of mission. He's shaking in joy, and he's supposing that this is what it must feel like to be a warrior, before battle and getting to go. And he's all excited because he's going to get a glorious death. And this guy says, or the thought process is that is why the Spartans went with 300 of their finest, because this was going to be historical. This was going to be, we are going to live forever because of how awesome and glorious we're going to die. And while I do believe that a glorious death is the way to go, I love life. I'll go if you make me, but I think life's too much fun. There's too much to see. But if you gotta go, you gotta go. So, nothing wrong with that. So, I like that. Very good book. Next one's called Gray Fox by Burke Davis, and it's about Robert E. Lee. And I know there's a lot of, good, bad, honorable, not honorable, slavery, not slavery. I think when it comes to how people feel about things, it's everybody's, well, it's America, everybody's allowed to believe whatever you want to believe. I don't like Mao Zedong, but I read books by Mao Zedong, or read a book by Mao Zedong. I don't like, well, I'd go so far. I don't like war. I don't like people getting hurt. I don't like all the things that come along with that. But I read books about warfare. I read books about, I hate economics. I don't know how many economics books I've been reading lately. I guess what I'm trying to say is, history is not black or white. History is not two-dimensional. History is not, and I am at no point, even, at any point should anyone be a slave, or, you got your people that really defend it. Well, I think they knew it was wrong. George Washington, right? Here's a non-contentious figure. At his time, but George Washington had slaves. He had not quick to temper, but once he got angry, he was angry and he held some grudges, and maybe a couple other things. The slavery thing being the probably worst offense. And I know some worst offense. I don't know what else to call it. So please don't use my words against me. I'm just trying to say bad thing. Slavery. So George Washington had slaves. So you're like, well, you know, he's the father of America. He did this, he did that. But he also did this and he did that. And when I was reading that book, when it got to the slavery part, like I really was like, I don't know how I feel about this guy anymore. Like, and then as the book got later, well, you love him again. You know, and it's who's perfect. You know, anybody. Tell me somebody who's perfect. Nobody. Right? Everybody's got flaws. Everybody's got drama, baggage, something peculiar, wrong going on. That's everybody, right? Judge less, observe more. So Robert E. Lee fought on the wrong side of the war, but he still can teach you things. He's for the most part was a good person. You know, he loved his family, he helped people, he cared for me. He had flaws too. I'm just saying, like, when the war was over, the war was over. You know, he didn't talk about insurrection anymore. He wanted peace. And when he was buried, he made sure that nobody wore a Confederate uniform to his burial. And he wasn't buried in his Confederate uniform. He was an American. He had made a mistake. He, I believe, paid his dues. Kind of like somebody else. Not a Burke fan at all. I don't care about the dude. I don't like him. I don't. But not my cross to bear. Not your cross to bear. Not your problem to worry about. Shouldn't even affect you. Why? Because you're not going to desert, and he's out of the military and moved on. Right? We got pressing matters going on this planet. You know, not just this country. You know, the microcosm of the planet. You need to be eyes open, ears open, mind open. Listen to what people have to say. Listen to the way they construct their arguments. Listen to the way, is this a passionate plea or is this a logical answer? One, how you address whatever you're discussing with them. You know, or they come from a passion place? Do they understand passion? Right? Because if someone is passionate about something, you're probably not going to be able to change their mind. Why? Because they're not logically attached to whatever that thought is. They're passionate about it. And if you feel a certain way, it's very hard to change how you feel. So you got that. Two, if they're logical, then, you know, logic. If you throw passion out, you're done. So whenever you're presenting something to an officer, you know, whether it's a mission brief or just an idea or you're defending yourself, you can't come with passion. You come with passion and you'll lose them. You have to be facts only and delivered as Bueller as possible. Not saying you have to be monotone, but I'm saying you just deliver it. And no, I was going to say less ums lately, but my count today is pretty high. I'm tired though. So, it's a good weekend. It's been a busy week and a lot of underwater. So I'm a little tired, but I'm going surfing, so I'm happy. So life's good. But so Burke takes off wrong. People die or get very seriously injured in the trying to find him. Very bad. Spends 5 years in a Taliban cell, much like the Hanoi Hilton is what the debrief that I saw on his captivity said. So, being a single parent who would never wish a single parent or wish somebody to have to be a single parent, it is a really horrible, you are on your own, one man in a tag team fight with one arm tied behind your back. That is being a single parent. So I would not wish being a single parent on my worst enemy. I would not wish being stuck in a cell like the Hanoi Hilton to anybody either. I'm a firm believer in the golden rule: treat others the way you would like to be treated. So if I don't want something bad to happen to me, because if you can't do the time, don't do the crime, or any other cliche that you need to understand that, like, if somebody does something bad, O.J. Simpson, whatever, and they get away with it, don't worry about it. They'll get it in the end. Everybody gets it in the end. It's just the way it goes. If you can learn to accept that there is no justice here, or that justice will never be